1 in 5 suffer.
Erase the stigma.
Brain difference is not a crime.
Mental health isn't just your problem.
It's our problem.
And now, Mental Health Mondays with Marla and Dave.
Welcome to Mental Health Mondays. And as we promised, and as we always are, we are Marla and Dave. I am Marla.
And I'm Dave.
And we welcome you every Monday. You know, we have learned to turn our mundane Mondays into Mental Health Mondays, which is something that we all look forward to. And my own personal slogan is any conversation that we're having about mental health or mental wellness is a conversation worth hearing and one worth having.
And so happy Mental Health Mondays. I want to remind you that Mental Health Mondays is brought to you by Loving Beyond Reason and NAMI San Fernando Valley. You can visit both of those websites. That's lovingbeyondreason.org or NAMI-SFV.org, and click on the Mental Health Mondays donation page. We need your support to help bringing you information like this and shows like this. We started last week with a great conversation with our son. We call him DJ. He's David II. And so last week we were focusing a little bit on, would you say, Marla, his diagnosis and how he deals with that on a day-to-day.
His management of his own brain differences.
Yes, and so this week we're going to start there because Marla had two great questions that she's going to bring up again as we bring DJ back into the show. And then we're going to focus on DJ's creativity. He's an up-and-coming designer. He has music. Matter of fact, he and I have done some music together. I scored a movie. He has several songs in the movie that he contributed to it. So we're going to talk about all that when we come back with our son, DJ.
Help someone who is struggling by supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness and be a part of the NAMI effect. Hope starts with you.
Hey guys, listen up. Learn something.
All right, as we promised, we're back. This is episode 2 with our son, DJ, who is in his own right just an amazing human. Despite the challenges and the differences that we've had through the years, I think that, you know, as we go on, as he says, he's as he mentioned, if you missed episode 1, make sure you go back and see it. But we want to welcome you back, D, for episode 2 in Mental Health Mondays.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, he's so polite.
Once again.
I must have. Did I teach you that, to be polite? Who did you learn to be more polite from, me or Dad?
Well, that's a matter of nature versus nurture, and I think nature did a lot of that, teaching me how to be polite.
Thank you. So you weren't nurtured into politeness? Your parents never said talk to you, say please and thank you? Just don't act like we're them.
That is in your nature, correct?
Okay. Anyway, so
So Marla, you had some questions.
I had a
What are the
couple
two
of questions for D,
Yeah.
and I want to open with this, and then as we move through this particular episode, I want to get into your actually, to me, genius creativity. So the questions that I had for you were this. If you could, and if there was a way you could guarantee that you would never hear these voices again, would you want the voices to stop? That's question 1. Answer that one.
To be honest with you, I'm so appreciative of the trial that God has been putting me through, that however long it takes until he actually comes through with the quick fix, or even long-term fix, however long it takes. Like, I'm so incredibly willing to embrace God's timing, which is perfectly synergistic, that at the end of the day, you know what? No, I wouldn't want the voices to go away. Not at all.
So you want to keep the voices?
Absolutely. I want to keep the voices.
Okay. So the second question I have for you is,
as long as the voices are necessary in my life.
Okay. So the other
as long as the voices are necessary in order for God to see out his plan.
Okay. Is it my turn?
No, what's the second question?
The second question I have is, the voices at a couple of times have gotten you into such an elevated state, in all honesty, that it's been that you've been aggravated to a level that it's become physical in your own defense and the things that go on in your head. Should we be afraid of the voices? This is a two-part question you have to answer at the same time. Should the voices be something we're scared of? And are you aware of when the voices get to a level that you should be warned for yourself and the safety of those that love you that are around you?
You know what? That's a great question.
Thank you.
Because there's a famous quote out there that actually states the fact that and this is a paraphrase, but the only thing that we are ever afraid of is our own power and strength and quite frankly, genius. So should you ever be afraid of somebody else? The answer is absolutely not. That's irrational. The only thing you should ever be afraid of, and Tony, do you actually know the quote? Mom, do you know the quote?
We don't know what quote you're
No,
referring
we
to.
have no idea. You're blindsiding us
The
right
quote
now.
that and I paraphrase, that states, the only thing that humans are afraid of is their own strength.
I don't know that quote, but maybe Mom phrased that question, maybe we could rephrase it, and that is whether or not we're afraid or not. What she's really talking about is, and she also made an assertion as part of the question, and that is the voices telling you to have interactions with the family, your people around you, that can become physical or that can become dangerous, that can end in police being called and all that kind of stuff.
Which has happened.
Well,
We've
hold
had
on.
those episodes.
Is that because the voices told you to do it, or what is it that transpires?
Agitate you to that point.
So
that
let me be clear.
we know how that comes to that level of intensity.
Yeah, let me be clear, right? Universal control, which is the solar system, which is everything, right? Universal control starts with universal mind control. So universal control starts with universal mind control. And anybody that knows that the solar system, so let's just say that the solar system is just that, a system. So the solar system is God's system in multiple ways.
Well,
Not just because.
remember, you're speaking
Keep
to
it concise.
what
I'm going to tell
literally
you right now. I'm gonna
leads
tell
up
you right
to
now.
the
I'm
type
gonna-
of interaction that we had.
I'm about to tell you. So due to the fact that the solar system is God's system, not just because he owns it, but because he is it. Now you understand that what leads up to that is me having a lapse of not only judgment, but mind control. Because I don't ever blame any situation on any outside circumstance, because to be quite honest with you, that's what a pansy would do.
So let
So
me
what
ask
he's
you
saying?
this.
So what he's saying? If it is, should we hide in a full moon or what? I'm confused at that whole
Again, so so let me just go back and give you guys a little anecdote. One time when DJ was younger, he was actually in daycare at the time, hadn't even gone to first grade yet. He came into the house and he was like, "Dad, there's this one song that I really like." And I was playing the guitar or the keyboard or something at the time. He was like, "It goes like this." And I'm like, "Man, D, what are you talking about?"
Yeah, most definitely.
I literally had no idea what he was
Crazy
talking about.
rhythmic pattern, baby.
Marla was like, she got frustrated after a while, left the room,
I'm out of this
and
conversation.
I was still sitting there with him like, "Hey, little buddy, what are you saying?" So
Yeah.
finally he kept insisting, and he was getting frustrated because no one was understanding what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And I realized that instead of singing the melody, which is the normal way that people get you to understand a song or
Right.
relate what a song could be, he was actually doing the drum pattern,
The rhythm
of
section.
the actual song itself. And because I could recognize that, it took me about 20 minutes. but I wasn't going to stop because I didn't want him to feel hurt that no one was understanding what he was talking about.
Good thing that you're in a 10-time Grammy Award-winning group, Dave, and you're versed in
But
music.
I
Your
stayed
relationship
with it.
could be ruined.
And so there are going to be times in these discussions that I kind of get where DJ's coming from, but I might, if you don't mind, I can help you focus that a little bit.
Go ahead.
And you hear the music in the background. That means it's time to take a break. We'll be right back with more DJ.
When Dave and Marla get together, it's hot.
You may not realize it, but these words, often used to describe someone with a mental health condition, can be very harmful. In a country where 1 in 5 people are affected by a mental health condition, it's time for all of us to step up and change the conversation. Just because someone's struggle isn't obvious on the outside doesn't mean they aren't hurting on the inside. We need to see the person, not the condition. Join with me, pledge to be stigma-free.
It's time for the Mental Health Minute with Marla and Dave.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is a real illness. You can get PTSD after living through or seeing a traumatic event such as war, a hurricane, bad weather, physical abuse, sexual abuse, or just a very bad traumatic incident.
PTSD makes you feel stressed and afraid after the danger is over. It affects your life and the people around you.
PTSD can cause problems like flashbacks or feeling like the event is happening all over again, trouble sleeping or having nightmares, the feeling alone, isolated, angry outbursts, feeling worried, guilty, or sad.
PTSD can happen to anyone, even children. Medicines can help you feel less afraid and tense. It might take a few weeks for them to work. Talking to a specifically trained doctor or counselor also helps many people with PTSD.
If you or anyone you know needs help dealing with any of these issues, please seek professional help. This message is brought to you by Mental Health Mondays with
And
Marla
Marla
and Dave.
David is a thinker.
I never do anything without thinking about it first.
Marla is a feeler.
I basically wear my personality on my sleeve.
But when Marla and Dave get together, it's like a match dancing with a firecracker.
Well, I can't say that I'm going to just jump right in because I know this goes so quick. We don't have that much time, and I do really want to focus on Dee's creative efforts in so many different art areas of life. But I can't say that I got the answer. But I appreciate you, I do feel like that these incidents that have happened to us in our family.
What do you mean? You mean I didn't answer your question the way that you wanted me to answer the question?
Not wanted. I just the direct question was, should we be afraid because we've had escalations that have happened, and you went into the solar system.
No, basically what I'm saying is this, though, right? You should not be afraid, and I did actually answer that question. Because I said you should not be afraid because the only thing that anybody is afraid of is their own strength.
Well, again, so practically speaking, D, and we want to turn the corner because we want to get this question answered.
Let's
take it away from fear. Let's take it away from fear.
No. Because to be honest with you, this is what's happening. Even if I am participating in a trial that God himself is giving you,
Mm-hmm.
well, to be honest with you, what you're actually afraid of is your strength to overcome it.
We're not talking about your fear. We're talking about our fear. And so what ends up happening.
That is what your fear
so
is.
Hold on, D. Hold on.
That's
hold on
exactly what your fear is.
Hold on before we go esoteric with what fear is, the definition of fear from a universal
How
perspective.
is that even esoteric? That's straight to the point.
I'm going to say this. Listen to what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, can you keep those incidents from happening? That's the first thing. And can you tell when it's about to happen?
Right, that's the real question.
And what steps can you practically take to make sure that it's handled differently?
Yes,
that's
the most important question. Can you personally identify when this is a trigger and escalating to the point where it can go there?
Yes, I can do anything that I set my mind to, even overcome trials. I can do anything that I set my mind to.
Okay, stop right there. So then why didn't you set your mind to it last time?
I didn't set my mind to it because I was afraid of my strength to overcome a trial that not only that you're participating, but God is putting me through. I was afraid of my own strength and didn't think that I can continue. That's what happened.
Okay.
All right. We'll accept that. So let's turn the corner.
All right. Turning. So the corner that we want to turn is this. Like Dad said, interestingly enough, because we are your parents, we've looked back through the years and we've seen so many, I cannot with him, creative, there's been signs of extreme creativity in DJ even before we recognized the depth of his creativity. And now it really
all started back in the day. I was in the studio working, and we were actually coming up with the Marla and Dave show as a show that Marla and I used to have. And I was working on a song, a theme song, several different songs. And I was bringing in, at the time, our grandson's father Little Fizz, to actually do a rap on as part of the song. DJ walks by the studio.
I could do better than that.
After the whole thing was over, and Fizz had gone home, he was listening to it, and I was trying to work on it a little bit, trying to get my mix together. D says, "Man, you should let me get on the mic."
He criticized it, and I said, "Don't talk about it, be about it." He's like, "Fine, I'll do it. I'll do a verse." And he took the song and went into his room, and he came back in 10 minutes, and he gave it to David, and David was like, he listened to it.
So Marla is skipping a lot of points in the story.
Because that's what I do, because we only have 7 minutes.
Well, the issue is that D didn't take it, go to his room, come back. He got on the mic right then, started writing some stuff down on his phone, and I recorded him, and I thought it was good, but I mean, at the time, hip-hop, rap just wasn't my thing.
Yeah, me either still.
So I literally had to call a couple of my friends, and they were like, "Man, who's that, man? Where'd you get that old Tupac track?" And I was like, "What?"
Right.
It's like, that's not Tupac.
Well, David was like, I think this is great, but I can't really measure. And that's the first time we realized the magnitude of his gift. So D, we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about music, and we're going to talk about fashion, because music came first.
Yeah, most definitely music came first, no doubt. But at the same time, I always had a love for fashion.
But we didn't know that.
Because you guys put me into fashion.
How? Those pink diapers, those were swaggy.
Nah. Every time that you guys used to dress me, it was always proper.
Now, that's true. That's true. Mom used to
It was
buy
always
so many
me.
expensive baby
Feldman
clothes.
Brothers, except he was a fat baby. DJ was 32 pounds.
Sometimes
At
$200,
at 4 months
$300
old.
outfits that he grew so fast. There were times that I was so angry. Marla was buying these outfits. He didn't even get a chance to wear them
But
because he
hold on.
outgrew them before he even put them on.
I just need you to sit on what I said. If you're a person listening, this child at 4 months old this is legitimate. This isn't an exaggeration. He was 32 pounds at 4 months old. Now go, D.
All right, so I was fat. No doubt. You got me. I was fat. But at the same time, you guys were. You were on the ball. And I like to be on the ball. Let me step back and show you. I'm wearing some pink slacks. I'm wearing some, loafers with some fur on it, baby. You already know. I like to
And
be
all he did
on
was
the
walk
ball.
out the room and get in his car, and this is how he looks, just fresh with it, no matter what.
At all times.
Right. All right. So
I was going to tell you also about a movie that I did a score for, and DJ also contributed several songs to. And it was, when it first we thought about it, was called Rightful. Once it got picked up, the name changed to, what did I say? Blackstock Boneyard. Let me make sure. Yes, Blackstock Boneyard. And it'll be available at the end of this month on Prime. So we need you guys to go out there and rent that. Anyway.
Blackstock Boneyard, you better download, stream it.
We're going to get into more of DJ's fashion and music. When we come back, matter of fact, when we come back, we'll have his SoundCloud up on the screen so you guys can check out his music on SoundCloud, as well as he'll talk about his fashion. We'll be right back. The fun music has started, and I see shoulders wiggling. Ooh, she's doing the rabbit today. Okay. The rabbit pole dance. I don't know if that's BBIT or RABID.
I'm starting a new TikTok for pole dancing, like the Sia song.
All right, so that, as you know, the music means it's time for the poll question. Marla, what was the poll question last week?
Last week's poll question was, which of these conditions are most likely to develop? A,
which
diabetes.
of these conditions are you most likely to develop? Any person, yes.
Which of these conditions are you most likely to develop? A, diabetes. B, cancer of any kind. C, mental illness. D, heart disease. Now, we gave our guest, DJ, who was here last week, first shot at this answer, and his answer was
heart disease.
Heart disease, and I'm going to say
ink. The answer is C, mental illness. It is the most common disorder of all those other disorders, diabetes, cancer of any kind, or even heart disease. The poll question.
I thought you were saying, can you see me?
Yes, we can all see you.
Okay.
No, we don't have time for this. You were wrong.
No, I thought that you were saying what kind of illnesses come about as a byproduct of mental illness.
Okay,
no
that's
problem.
great. But that
which makes perfect sense.
Okay,
right,
so the little misunderstanding there. So the answer was mental illness is the most common of those disorders or issues that people deal with. The question for next week is, what percentage of U.S. adults suffer from anxiety disorders? Your options are A, 19%,
B, 27%,
B, 27%, or C, 34%. DJ, what do you think?
This is the new one?
This is the new poll question.
What percentage of U.S. adults suffer from anxiety disorders?
19%.
As long as you don't switch the question up when this is over.
Okay, that's your own brain.
19%, 27%, or 34%?
No, say the question one more time.
What percentage of U.S. adults suffer from anxiety disorder?
19, 27, or 34?
34 for sure.
All right.
So
we won't know
if that's
until
true
next week, but when we have next week,
week,
we'll reveal whether DJ struck out twice. He was a bomb baseball player, but we'll never count him out because what he did good was drive the count. He could drive a count. That boy, I swear, he could get
always
full count and
remember
get
to
on the
stop
base.
by lovingbeyondreason.org and donate to Mental Health Mondays. Don't move. Back to the show. All right, so D, there was a time when, let me just also say this. There are times like today your mood is elevated, you're happy, you're having a good time. There are times when it's not like that. There are times when it seems like you're going through the house and getting all the different things that we have, whether it be paint or mom's nail polish or some of the nail polish that the girls left over, and starting to design things on your sneakers or cut up some shirts.
Mom leaves and
make a new design and draw things on you. Take your clothes out to the park with a can of spray paint and start, designing your jackets, cutting them up. And then suddenly it turned to you going to the printer and designing things on the computer and having people send you your designs. What is your ultimate goal with your fashion designing?
My ultimate goal with my fashion designing is to further enhance the staple that is fashion through my ability to understand not only textile itself, because this is a polo white tee and it feels good, but at the same time, not only
if it was H&M, would it feel different?
It most definitely would. That's not even a funny joke.
I understand what you're saying. There are different
but
quality
at the same time, at the same time, not only textile, which I do appreciate quality, but at the same time, look, because fashion is a staple. And at the end of the day, what we're all looking for is quality and look.
So is it safe to say that your ultimate goal is fashion that not only looks good, but feels good and makes you feel good about yourself?
So I was a little concerned, and you explained it to me when you first started really going heavy into fashion, because all your clothes look like Cameron's baby pants. So I don't know, what's the tight thing all about?
No, so I feel like the look that I'm particularly going for is most definitely European.
So a trimmer style and cut.
Yeah, I like my short shorter. I like my pants tighter. You already know it's just
that
a European
comfortable?
style.
You like the look to be tapered.
Yeah, it's clean.
I'm asking you, is it comfortable though? Is that a comfortable?
Oh
one?
yeah,
I'm
most
not even trying to be
definitely.
funny.
I've even purchased female pants, female jeans. And if you've ever tried on a pair of female jeans, I'm going to be honest with you, they're the most comfortable things in the world because they actually stretch. So instead of buying some stretchy skinny jeans, why not just go to your nearest female retailer and purchase those stretchy skinny jeans that you wanted for a way cheaper price, and it's the same exact thing.
It's like having a baby foot.
Practical at that.
Foot small.
So
It's like having
And
a
not
baby.
to mention the fact that,
What?
remember what I told you about intolerance? So at the end of the day, the only thing stopping you from getting the cheapest skinny jeans that you can find that are actually comfortable is your friends being intolerant of your
Gender.
Of your
not-
choices.
not gender,
But
but
of your
your friends-
choices in
exactly,
clothing.
exactly,
and where you shop.
exactly.
Okay.
Don't be afraid.
I can understand that.
Don't be scared.
If
don't be
fashion,
afraid.
fashion for everybody. What?
Get your best bang for your buck.
Well,
Get your most
what I
bang for your
will
buck.
say about DJ is this, and DJ, this is again, because number one, you're my son, and we live together, and all of that. You probably don't hear it as much because I probably don't say it as much, but there's a compliment that I have to your bravery of just being such a unique individual. You're a very unique individual, and I remember when he was, I think maybe he was 18. He may have been a little bit younger, but a teenager. And he would come home and hug me up, and we were out, and I used to train his baseball team. And he was hugging me one day, and I said, D, you are such a mama's boy. I said, do you care that your friends are going to be like, D, you're mama's boy? He said, I don't care. So he's always kind of been that. Like, so in other words, I want to compliment you for being able to go through. But I also have one quick, serious question to ask you, because I think this is something that is just inspired to me, because I've never asked you this before.
Go ahead.
This is a first right here on Mental Health Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people who suffer from the things that you suffer with, your diagnosis or your trial, have gotten to the point that you've been through some stuff. Have you ever, in your travel or in your situation, thought of suicide? Has suicide ever been a thing for you? A contemplation ever?
No, I've never been suicidal ever. However, I have actually been afraid of my own strength on multiple occasions. Because I'm gonna tell you what, man, that's a statement that a lot of people might not understand. But let me tell you the most practical usage of that statement. The last time that me and my father went out to play golf, I was so calm and felt so strong that it literally made me afraid. My heart, if it could have dropped at the time, would have been in my stomach.
You tortured DJ with a golf game?
No, it's because I was so calm, so relaxed, but at the same time felt so bionic that I was afraid of it.
Okay. Again, one of the things that I would like to always point out is that, especially dealing with brain differences, mental illness, as Dee calls it, a trial, things ebb and flow. Sometimes things are great. Sometimes things are less than great. Sometimes things are actually not good at all. But, just like everybody else, you have to learn how to deal with that. We've been having a great conversation with our son. Unfortunately, time is always flying. You hear the music in the background. We have to take a break. We'll be right back.
Bad.
Worthless.
Don't trust them. They'll hurt you. You're worthless.
It's pointless.
When the pain of schizophrenia meets hope, everything can change. Help someone who is struggling by supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness and be a part of the NAMI effect. Hope starts with you.
It's raw, real, and unfiltered.
All right,
back.
well, we're back.
So
And-
Tony, can we get DJ SoundCloud up there? Awesome. So people can, you guys out there can check out DJ's SoundCloud. Check out his songs. He has a lot of songs up there. He's adding to them on a nonstop basis.
Can we talk about your hair, though?
Yeah, there's 245 sounds on there. If you see,
But the ponytail things, what's going on there?
oh, the ponytail things. To be honest with you, I think every chance I get to express myself, I take it.
So do you look to be just extreme because it's just a way to be unique, to showcase your uniqueness?
No, you know what? I express myself daily in ways that people wouldn't even imagine.
Oh, well, we don't want to. That's
and we'll
another
leave
show.
it in the unimaginable expressions.
That's a loaded book.
Thank you for that. Anyway, we've had a
Question.
good time with our son DJ, and the main thing that I want you guys to take away from this is just because he has quote unquote a diagnosis, you can kind of sort of see who he is as an individual, and he likes to have fun.
Smart as hell.
Today he was speaking from a spiritual, universal perspective. There are days when he's not speaking like that, but this is who DJ is. We love him, we appreciate him, and we're
Accept
proud
him.
of him. A lot of things coming up in the future for the Thomases.
Yes, and some big news to announce coming up very soon. But in the meantime, hit the SoundCloud. And D, I just want to tell you, man, that our foundation, Loving Beyond Reason, which again you can find us lovingbeyondreason.org, you have inspired us to share with other families and other people that there's no need to be ashamed of your difference, because it's the unconditional love that a lot of people in this world say that the way that Dad and I have loved you is not really reasonable. And so we want to let you know that you're worth every single solitary fight. And I don't mean physical fight. I mean, just an effort to be sure that you're good. We care that much. So never forget that.
Never will I.
All right, good. So then write a song about me. Dear Mama, don't do that one because Tupac did it. And don't do the one that Boyz II Men did, but I'll be waiting because you're an amazing songwriter. How about Mama Marla? Magnificent Mama Marla.
This has been Mental
How
Health
about
Mondays.
Mama Mia?
No, that's been done. Why you gotta give me some
With
recital?
Marla
Mama
and
Mia.
Dave. Remember,
Mia.
hold on. Remember to stop by lovingbeyondreason.org and NAMI-SFV.org and contribute to Mental Health Mondays.
Absolutely.
We love you guys. We want to meet you here every week. As a matter of fact, we will see you next week.
Right here on Mental Health Mondays. We'll be here. Make sure you are too.
Thanks to
See
our
you later.
guest, our son, DJ.
Bye.